Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Lara Rhoades. For those that don't know me, I'm in the Northern Virginia area. I live in Loudoun County, and I'm excited to tell you guys about a new tool that is coming. It is target date of coming out from EXP on June 23rd, so next week. So be on the lookout. So this is going to be the new open house hub, and it is a really neat open house app. I know that many of us have used open houses apps, with our databases. If you've been in the business a while, there was also some that eventually came out on phones, different ways that we use this. But this is one that EXP has designed, and I was fortunate enough because I took the EXP open house lead mastery course, and there was a contest, and I entered so that I could be a beta user of the open house app in May. And so the feedback that we gave them, they actually were making changes almost on a weekly basis of some of the things that different people were reporting. So they were very responsive. So I'm going to tell you about this app and then encourage you to check into it for your own use, and also to help any of your, if you're recruiting any new agents or people trying to get their business going. So here we go. All right, so just real quick, this is part of this came out because of the Icon Lead Mastery class. If you go to EXP University and you pull the tab on the Icon Lead Mastery, you will see here that you will see like a video here, a short video with Brian Ellington, our CLO, our Chief Learning Officer, speaking about the Icon Lead Mastery classes. You'll see that we have classes, sorry about the screenshot kind of doing weird stuff. But you can see here that it talks about open houses, social media, farming. They kind of hit a lot of the stuff with the databases and the SOI. Then these are the courses that are currently available. Now, I will say that I have taken all except the YouTube. The YouTube is coming soon. That one is going to be in the third quarter is what they said it's going to be. But the database and SOI is a really good course to take. So is the open house one and the Instagram. Not only do you get taught by some great instructors, but you get to learn from some of the icon agents who actually share some of their playbooks for what they do in these different categories. And the nice thing is that when I say shared, it is actually downloadable documents that also, many of them also have AI prompts to help you with doing all of that. And so I would highly recommend it. I'm looking forward to YouTube. I have no idea exact date, but I'm excited to see who's going to be teaching YouTube from our icon agents. Let's see. Come on, move. Okay, there we go. So here's some of the ones that are coming up. The September 9th, Austin Chevron, who wrote the Money Puzzle book. He's a really good coach. He's going to be teaching the database on September 9th. Hopefully some of you, because I know I told some of you and part of my group and everything about the likes to leads with Instagram was last week on the 9th with Russ Lagan, which if you've never taken a class with him, he's really good. He keeps on track, but he's also very entertaining. On June 23rd, they're nicknamed the twins, Candace Garcia and Alyssa Speck. They will be teaching the Massive Leads from Open House one. I highly recommend a lot of you sign up for that because I believe, from what I understand, they're also going to be talking about the open house app and introducing all of that and everything. So please check that out. So I just want to put that in there before we got into the class. So what is the open house? The open house hub. It has an agent dashboard, so you'll be able to see a screen. Unfortunately, I don't have access to the system anymore, and for the way it was, but I took screenshots before they took it down for me, so you could kind of get an idea. Can everybody mute, please? Because I'm hearing some feedback on my end. There's also a search for finding open houses, which I'll talk a little bit more about that. So it's just for EXP listings for the areas that you're looking to do open houses. There's also a lead capture. It's all digital. There's no paper sign-ins. It's done. You can also have the QR codes. And then the other neat feature that I like about this is it also has seller reports, or you can give reports. You can give these reports directly back to the agents that it's branded about the open house traffic data, the promotional activities, and then this information can be shared with the sellers. So it's a nice little, nice system that has a lot of different functions that I think everybody's going to find helpful, and especially when you have other agents hosting your listings. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about how the profile is being set up, the agent dashboard, finding these open house opportunities, the digital kiosk and lead capture, seller reports and follow-ups, and then about their Q&A that they already have inside of that was the beta version. I'm sure it's been enhanced since then. All right, so the first step, and this is kind of showing some screenshots of how mine work, how I set mine up. So, you can add your picture within the profile. You can put, your email, signature. You can add all of that. This is also when they click on this too, they will also be able to see all your information about you. So that's another great way. And you also have your social media links in here too, as you can see. So this makes it very easy for when you're capturing leads that they are going, to you and stuff like that. When they're seeing all this information, they're being directly connected to you. So, you kind of write about this and anything that you want to be putting, and you're trying to aim for a 100% profile completeness, of course. We all know how some of us that are competitive and want that 100%. It's kind of like when you take the Virginia real estate license exam at PSI, they only give you a pass or fail. There's no percentage. So it upsets some people, but we have to live with that. All right. So what happens here? You can also set up a QR code. This is what I like too. So it generates a QR code for us. It links directly to your public profile. You can print it big. I have an example of that coming up where I put it inside of one of those like clear acrylic type of frame type of things. I had it there where people could just click on that with their phones if they wanted to, do everything from their phones. I also had an option on a tablet. You can do it on a tablet or an iPad if people want that option, just so that you have the different options available. And I was finding that people were capturing and people were sitting there doing it on their phone for those who chose to do that when I was able to test it out. And I will say that Kim Baggett is on this Zoom. She was actually one of my first people who I got to test this with at her opening. So you're going to see some of one of her listings and everything, her beautiful listing in Brambleton highlighted in this. The nice thing is too about this is that there is, when you have the kiosk on your whether it's your laptop or a tablet, whatever, an iPad, it automatically clears the sign-in screen. You set the time, whether it's 1 minute, 5 minutes, whatever it is. So it's kind of protecting that visitor data between guests. And so that's a nice thing. You create a 4 to 6 pin to exit kiosk mode. It's usually defaulted to 1, 2, 3, 4. If I remember correctly, you need to change it immediately. The thing is that this is nice so that because it has this pin, people can't be changing and, by accident hitting something and getting out of your app. I don't know if you ever had that happen sometimes. I know I did when I was using the Bull Trail Open House. Somebody would do something and I would have to go and reconnect it and everything, which was kind of annoying, especially when you were busy and, in between talking to people. So this is how it looks. So this is the one that I used at Kim Baggett's listing on Cortlandt Park. So it came out with a nice QR code, and it was, like I said, it was an acrylic frame, so people could just click that. They're easy to print off. It's like one page. It auto generates this. You get it no matter what, whether you use it or not. And for me, I just found it was much easier to use this and just download it. so that I had it to display and just use one of my things. Um, like I said, they can scan it with their phone, so there's no app needed. It takes them straight to the digital sign-in screen. It does print out 8.5 by 11, so you can have it at the front door, entry table, you know, the bigger and the bolder, it gets you a higher scan rate. You can also, as you can see down here, it can also include your branding. It shows the property address, your name, phone, email, and social links. Um, so you can always do that and everything. And you can use the same sign at every open house for for that particular property. I did not laminate it, like I said, I just used um, a clear acrylic frame and found it worked really well. All right, so this is kind of what your dashboard looks like. This is kind of the command center. Again, here's Kim's house being highlighted. And as you can see, there's like um, other listings that you can see that kind of match this, like different areas for EXP, not necessarily Brambleton. But here you have on the screen, you have like where there's active properties. So for each listing that you're doing an open house for, so you can schedule out and everything, you can pull this down and you can actually see what it is. But you can see over here on the left, you have find EXP listings. This way you can make sure that you are, searching to see what you're looking for, especially if you want something closer to home. Um, and the other thing is here too, is this generates a open house traffic indicator with low, high, and medium at a glance. It kind of finds the matches for you from the different places. And it can also it's also installable as a desktop app if you click install in the browser and everything. So I just used it going to it and everything. So this will eventually, by the way, be on our Okta one of our Okta tiles. You can also see that there's a section for my leads. This was the EXPU challenge. I don't know if they're going to be having that anymore. That was for the beta groups. You can see here there's seller reports, your settings to set up things, past open houses you've done, frequently asked questions, and I believe they'll still have us submit your feedback for any kind of glitches that we may be having. So this is a really, really nice for you to be able to see how your dashboard is kind of looking. So this is just, another one with showing the different things with, the different matches and stuff. It was kind of funny at one time. It showed me something, and I think this is it. It's showing me something, I think, in Italy over here to the right. So that was kind of cool. So yeah, it made me kind of go down a rabbit hole when I was playing with it, when I was in the feedback. All right, so this is about the hosting of the open houses on other EXP listings. And when I was talking to Kim about this, and sorry to call you out, Kim, a lot on this, but Kim and I were talking, and it is how I did it. It's like basically when you you can send a request to the agent that you want to do an open house, but keep in mind that if you don't have a relationship with that person and you're new, you're looking. I know a lot of us, when it comes to our open houses, and especially on our listings and stuff, we want to make sure that we have someone that's going to be representing the house well, knowing the area and everything else. When I was doing that, and I even reached out to some other agents that I did not know in EXP, I sent the request and then I followed up with a phone call. And if I didn't reach them, I left a message and also did a text. And then that started the communication. And then I was able to work with a couple of other agents that I had not held open houses for and also did not know. So that was also nice getting to know some other people and everything. Oh, and thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. So you could, like you can see here, you put in your city, your state, zip codes, whatever you want. They have US, Canada, and, other states. You can put in minimum prices that you're looking for, bedrooms, however you want to do it. And then it's going to pull up like different houses when you do your search results. So these other two are two other houses that I did. This one on Gibson Oaks, I don't know if Barry's on the call today, but that was Barry's that I did um, and co-hosted with Randy. And this was another EXP agent on up in Leesburg on Calvary Court. But it is nice and everything. And you get like a nice professional, there's like a nice letter email that goes out. And that email, you can adjust it to how you want of what you're going to be doing to promote that open house, besides just showing up and everything. So I think that's really important. And I think it's a really neat tool. It's just you don't have to go into Bright MLS and search or whatever. You can just go right to this tool to do it. So I think that's going to be really helpful. And for those of us that are mentors, if we are trying to find some open houses to do with our mentees or to help our mentees to find them and to train them on this, I think it's going to be a really great tool to help people. But I think that extra touch of reaching out to the agent is definitely a thing to do because I know that, I'm a person with my listings that I do, I want to make sure that, they understand about the home, everything else. I want to highlight everything and make sure that it's being done. Um, just as a side, I know that many of us have been to some open houses where um, let's face facts. There's people who just kind of, yep, go in, do whatever, or they don't even acknowledge you, which I think is kind of, is really sad, um, because I've gone out, kind of like what Lars does and many others that, on a Saturday or Sunday, if I'm not with clients or whatever, I might, or in between, I might stop at several different open houses. And I've been to many where the agent doesn't even acknowledge you when you walk in, didn't even acknowledge me when I was leaving. They were too busy on their phone or their computer. And it was kind of shocking. In this one, the door was just wide open, no storm door, and people were just walking in and out. This agent was sitting on the porch just completely ignoring everybody. And the house was not vacant. It was, somebody's house that had things in there. So it was just kind of odd to me. And I know 2 week, almost last, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, Pamela and I were co-hosting at my Round Hill listing. And for me, I was taken back, and I think Pamela was too. We had this couple, and their childhood, their middle school childhood came in, and they were like, we greeted them, and we welcomed them and everything, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are so friendly, and and you're welcoming us, and I'm kind of like smiling, and I'm looking at them like, well, why wouldn't we do that?" And apparently they had not been getting that at open houses. And I just, I just found it, really odd. And Pamela and I were talking about it afterwards that, hey, they haven't experienced like pleasantness at open houses. Oh, and Lars says that is true and hard for me to understand about the agents hosting the open house. Yeah. So, I mean, I just don't get it. But that was feedback from, someone who just came in and they were so surprised that we were welcoming. So, keep that in mind and stuff, because they're also whoever's there is also representing your sellers too. Okay, let's see if I can get this to move again. Okay. So here's some other things that happen. So once you send this letter and everything, they even have tips for finding open houses and everything. Once you do this, so this is showing where Kim accepted that I could post her open house. So this makes it easier that I could put it in here and do everything that I needed to keep track of everything. Also, during that time, I also needed that because we were in a contest and everything. But I mean, it was nice if I could have, won, but you know what? I was just happy to be a beta user for this. But I think that's really nice because the letter does go out to her. I did not have a copy of the actual letter. I didn't get that in time, so sorry about that. But she accepts it and you have it in your information, and then you put this in here so you can keep track of where you are getting people. All right. So again, this replaces the paper sign-in sheet. It's capturing name, email, and phone and consent automatically. So that's the other thing. With the TCPA guidelines, they do have that these people are agreeing to enter their information. It auto clears between visitors for privacy protection. It also, does a visitor status, whether they're a buyer, just browsing, if they have an agent, etc. It works on a tablet or laptop. There's no app no app install needed. And it'll lead flow directly into your My Leads dashboard. And it did for the beta, it had an export leads to your CSV, but with the rolling it out to everybody, they're actually going to have it sync where you can sync it to your CRM. So just like if you have Bold Trail, because that's what I have, when you use the Bold Trail Open House app, it automatically goes in. This will also be automatically going into. This is the whole thing. So like I said, I set up my tablet ahead of time in the kiosk mode, and then I test the pin, exit, and then you just kind of have your QR code printed and displayed at eye level. That's what I did, and I had no problem capturing people's information and everything. So I thought that was really nice and everything. But I do like that, we have, if you're not using one of our CRMs, but I think if you're using something different, they will probably have a way to sync to a CRM. But I know Brian Ellington, when I was emailing with him, he said that we would have that option of going to our CRM along with exporting to CSV if you needed that too. So all good there. All right. So this is where you would be managing your leads. So they would come in. It even says whether or not they agree to a consent. It has their email, phone number, their status, any kind of follow-up, their timeline, source. So it's telling you which open house they're coming from, dates and everything else. And you can do any kind of notes or action, and you can have pull down menus of different things. I had to get all of my leads out of there from the different open houses I did because of the fact that I wasn't going to have access to that once they went to the live one on June 23rd. All right, so this is showing the impress your sellers and or the other your agent that you're working with. You take this, you talk about this. So we had 4 visitors at this open house. I believe that was over Memorial Day weekend. And we had the open house visitors. Then here you can talk about different activities that you might have done for the open house, whether how many signs you put out, did you social media posts, did you do any kind, and then you can add custom tasks, you can add custom tasks, such as if you did something else that somebody else did not do. That's not on the standard list, but how many signs did you put out? Did you door knock? Whatever you might be doing, and you can adjust this to how you are going to be doing it. So I kind of like that. So it prints out, you can see here, you can either copy it or you can email it to the seller. I mean, obviously if it's mine, I can, or you can download it, which is what I did for the agents that I work with. And then I sent them a report and stuff so that they had that and everything. So I thought that was really interesting to do. So some of the bonus points of why sellers are going to love this is it's proof of activities. They can see exactly what we did with signs placed, flyers distributed, social reach. No more, I don't know what my agent does. There's visitor transparency. The real visitor counts from actual digital sign-ins, not estimates. It builds credibility and trust immediately. Of course, there's always that people who don't sign in for some reason. So you have to also keep that in mind too. But for the most part, I didn't have much trouble getting people signing in. Professional presentation, again, we have that branded PDF or a live link, looks like a custom marketing report. So, that's another thing that's going to be a bonus for us with this and everything. And like I said, you can kind of adjust it to fit you. And this can also be, a CMA conversation starter. If there's like low traffic, you can use the report to open a pricing conversation with data and not just opinion. Um, that's just, some bonuses that we have there and everything. Even with, I know in this area, we're in a bit of a um, awkward market in certain areas. And then this is showing us, I wanted to show you that this was in the beta, and I know they're going to be having it too, is getting the frequently asked questions. They already have built-in topics that you can like click on these different little buttons, and these are some of the different ones that they will show you and talk you through about what you have and everything. So I thought that was really really neat and everything that they already had that built and everything with the beta. So basically, here's some tips that they gave us for getting the most out of every open house is to print and display your QR code at the entry or, the central place where you're going to be doing it. Scan rate dramatically increases with lead capture. Of course, since you're printing this off, if you have, several, which I did have two, you can have two different, you can have the QR codes in a couple of places. You can set up kiosk mode on a dedicated table, leave it at the sign-in table. You don't have to worry about your personal phone or your laptop. I know a lot of us, like I said, either use a tablet or an iPad. You enter your promotional activities in real time during the event. Don't rely on them later. That's the other nice thing. It's quickly available. You send the seller report within 24 hours while the open house is freshen the minds and everything, which does help. And then you use the AI buyer matches panel to call buyers agents proactively the week before your open house too. So that's another function that we have too. That'll be helpful too, especially for listing agents that we can potentially do that because it'll go into our database. And then you can change your kiosk pin. Obviously you want to do that. Like I said, I think it's 4 to 6 letters or 4 to 6 numbers, and any visitor can exit your kiosk if you don't change it. So you want to make sure you change it. So I like that security feature so that nobody can mess with anything. And so this is kind of a launch checklist. So, kind of thinking about what to do before your first open, during the day of, and within 24 hours. A lot of this you get trained on this, but it's a nice reminder of, logging into this app once it's available. Hopefully next week the launch does happen on the 23rd, which I think it is from what they told me. Complete your profile to 100%, upload your headshot and add the bio, change your kiosk exit pin, download and print your QR code, set up the kiosk to idle privacy reset. So again, I think I have mine set at 1 minute. The day of your open house, you want to set the set active property on dashboard, enable the kiosk mode on your tablet. Again, display your QR code. At least definitely at your entry, if not also, where you have your sign in to, like with the tablet, or a couple of different places, couple of different areas. Log promotional activities live when you're doing them, and monitor your AI buyer matches panel too. That would be important. And that can also be for people who are hosting your open house. Like for instance, I was hosting Kim's. So because I was hosting Kim's, it's going to help me to see if there's any matches in my database that that I might not be remembering that might be in that price range, especially if they're not really active at that point in time. They're looking for that house. And then afterwards, within 24 hours, review the leads in your My Leads, tag buyer status and follow-up dates, generate and send seller report. I try to send those as soon as possible because, of course, the agents, want to know, because they sometimes have, sellers who want to know since they've left their homes. It's not always easy, but at least if you can give a general and then say, hey, I'll send a more detailed report once I pick up my signs and get out of there, because, especially if the people need to come back home. And then, like I said, we were exporting, but you will be able to, it will be going into your CRM. There's going to be a way to link it. That'll be part of the training. And then, of course, just keep requesting, other open houses and everything. So definitely something I'm going to be using at my open houses, and encouraging, anybody who I'm mentoring and training. So again, this is like part of this too. It has it here with, how to access the tool, how you can connect with me, and then if you have any questions, so that is it. I told you guys I would keep you short today. Um, let's see. Let me go back. Okay, let me see if there's any questions. Whoops, I don't want to do that. Come on. Nope, no, okay, no questions in the chat. So is there anybody who does have a question? Thank you, Lars. Anybody else have questions, comments? I hope you found it useful. Nico, yeah, that is one of the things they said that it's going to be. Nico was asking if I said it was going to hook up direct with the CRM. Yes, it is according to Brian Ellington, that is a new feature that they're going to be having that there is going to be a way to connect it to directly just like to Bold Trail or Lofty or whatever else. Um, so yeah, so that's a good thing. They just didn't do it for the beta, which I kind of understand why they didn't do it for the beta, and everything. Um, oh, and Nico, shame on you. You sold Anna's question. Okay, so you two can like duke that out later. Little siblings there, and everything. And thank you, Ivy. I'm glad that you like this. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it too. I mean, I know in the past, like with almost every open house app, I can, um, I can, remember like this glitch is happening, but I always have my paper backups just to be careful. Okay, I can show you that. Pamela wants to know where we can locate the training for this. So let me pull this up really quick on my screen. Um, all right, so let me pull this up. So I'm going to give you a quick training. Oh, well, I should probably do this through Okta, but I already have it up. So I'm going to do it this way. So basically, log into your Okta, click on your EXP University tile, and then when you go to Training Pass, this is where you have the different ones. And you can see different things you can do. There's also live training. So when you go to live training, which is the Icon Lead Mastery, this is also where you find Fast Cap and Faster Track. And if you haven't taken those, I highly recommend it. The Icon Lead Mastery is right here. Here, this is, for those of you who don't know, this is Brian Ellington. He is our Chief Learning Officer, CLO. Really, he's a great trainer and stuff like that. He's really good at like keeping our training going. This is where you can find all of this and the different paths. And right here is where you can find these information about these courses and when the next ones are coming up. Right now, the next massive leads from open houses is on June 23rd, which is next week from 12 to 2. I highly recommend if you can do this. They do record, but the recording is not available. But if you can, I would really take the 2 hours out of your day to do this training, because there's some really, really great information from the icon agents that are sharing their playbooks and stuff. There's some really good ideas. And just also like those AI prompts. So for those of us that are using AI for certain things, how these icon agents are using the AI prompts to help with everything. So was there any other questions? Feel free to come up. So yeah, it's supposed to be on Okta from what I was told, Nico. Yes. So it'll be part of our Okta apps and everything. So any other questions? You've already signed up for the open house. Way to go, Ivy. Okay, so Ivy is doing the call to action. Really, I mean, I can't stress enough. I mean, and I know, like, Lars calls me the professor, but basically, I mean, I do have a background in education and training and development, but I will say that the courses and the classes that we are offered and these icon agents and these other trainers in the EXP University, they are phenomenal with the way that they do this. And then we have a bonus of, for those of you, of course, I'm preaching to the choir, being here for the FYR University's Monday Momentums. And I'm glad you were here because we only have this one and two more left. And then we're going to take a break for July and August. But don't fret, you do have classes from EXP University, but we also have our FYR University library. On YouTube, you can go to the FYR YouTube page, and it has just so many different trainings that you can do. So you're not going to be alone during that time for the 2 months that we're on summer break and everything. So, any other questions? Because if not, I will give you back your 20 minutes of your life in your day. So.
Hi, my name is Neil Kumar. I have a question. I'm a new agent
Mhm.
and I don't even have my license yet, but I have a question. I'm trying to learn as much as I can. But in meantime, where can I find the open houses that I can attend? Is it through EXP University or some other area?
Okay, I might need to have Lars or someone
Yeah.
pipe in on this one who's
Yeah, Neil,
who was a
um, what I would suggest is where I find them, and you'll find them, is in Bright MLS,
Oh,
which you don't have access to yet. But
yeah.
if you want, I will go with you. I go every Saturday and Sunday,
Uh-huh.
so I'll go with you up until the point where you don't need me anymore to go with you. So
Okay.
just let me know if you're available either Saturday or Sunday this coming weekend. I should be able to go both days. Normally,
Hmm.
I go anywhere from 12 noon to 4 p.m. And my
Hmm.
goal is to go to 5. And I pick a specific, like we could do Leesburg, we could do Ashburn, we could do,
Hmm.
so I try to pick one area. And then
Oh.
I only spend about maybe 10 minutes in the open house, especially if it's busy. If it's not busy and the agent is engaging me, then I'll spend more time in there to speak with them. But I'm going there primarily to preview homes and to get to know the marketplace better,
Hmm.
and then of course engage with agents. And I meet a
Uh,
lot of agents that way.
okay. Well, this coming weekend is not good for me. I'm going out of town, but the
Okay.
following weekends I'm available, and I would love to do that because even during the weekdays, uh, I just want to learn as much as I can while I have free time, and so yeah, I'm available. So let
Yeah,
me
yeah.
know days as well as weekends.
And then I go to the brokers opens on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the afternoons as well.
Okay, but are the agents allowed?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah. Yeah, they're the only ones that are going. The brokers opens are just for agents, not for the public.
oh,
Yeah.
I see. Okay,
So
yeah,
like the
let
one we
me.
went to last week, that was a broker's open.
Oh, please let me know. So I'll go with. I mean, I can't promise every one of them, but I would love to go on few
Okay.
every day. Okay, thank
And
you.
congratulations, and I hope you get your license soon and everything. I know D4 can be a little slow and everything, so
Yeah,
they're trying to work on it, but hopefully that'll give it, and then you'll have more access to all of this, all of the
hmm
information
Yeah.
until you have your license, Neil.
Yeah,
That's the
Neil, keep calling them because the squeaky wheel gets the grease. It works.
Yeah, yes. I called them last week, and I'm keeping it. They told me just call us next week, and I said okay, I will.
Perfect.
yeah. All
Uh,
right, great question, Dale, and congratulations on becoming an agent. We look forward to you
thank
getting to work. Any other questions or comments or anything I can try to answer? If not, that's all I have and everything. I just wanted to get the information out to make sure everybody knew what we had coming. So it's another great app and everything, another great tool that they're offering us, which, they just keep giving us, EXP just keeps giving us more and more great things. All right, if that's it, and you're welcome, Pam. Thank you. Thank you, Pamela. All right, well, everybody have thank you, Ivy. Everybody have a wonderful Monday.